And away we go.
Testing. Gotta make sure it's working.
Sure,
Yeah.
Sure.
I want to have it working. If we're gonna be on the radio, we might as well be on the radio, right? All right, here we go. That sounds familiar to me. How about you, Roy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby. Right about here, we kick it.
It's 6 o'clock and the sun comes up and the zoo is on the air.
What?
So grab your clothes and blow your nose, put on clean underwear. With Scott and Ross, Professor Bell, Claire and Coach Mike Jude. Gonna start your day the New York way on the Z Morning Zoo. So get out of bed and move your butt and kick it in high gear. You're moving on, crank the volume up so everyone can hear. Lock it in, rip off the knobs, you know what to do. Stand up proud and say it loud, Z Morning Zoo.
And away we go.
Yes, sir.
And I remember this song. New York City, it's time to wake up.
The Morning Zoo Flashback.
Good morning, everybody. The Friday, April the 8th big show. Shannon. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, sir.
I want to make sure all the microphones are working.
That's why you were going on mine
a little
earlier.
thump in there. To my left, in the beautiful Hudson Square Theater, I have my old friend Ross Britton.
Hi there.
You might recognize his voice as a
Yes.
history of New York radio. Next to him, the lovely Claire Stevens,
Good morning. Lots of applause. Come on,
who
everybody.
went from being a school teacher to a morning show maven. New York City.
I like that. I like being amazing.
Try
And
to-
fashion industry. She's all over the place.
Yeah, try to find her history of rock and roll. I tell you what, that was a rocket ride, boy. He didn't know what hit her. One minute.
That's true.
Wait a minute, he's not even going to interview me? Now he says you're okay. Come on by.
Just what happened. You're right.
And of course, the dean of New York radio,
Yes.
Professor Jonathan B. Bell.
Hey, Scotto, how you doing?
And they said it wouldn't last.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at you. Look at you.
He's
You
looking
look
good,
about the
isn't he?
same, less your hair, but you made it up. You got it on your chin now.
Yeah, well, I moved it a little bit.
You see that what I mean, folks? We don't even miss a beat. We don't work together for a few years and we get back together. It's just the same.
Kaboom.
One of my favorite memories from the zoo was a young guy who wanted to get into radio. I think when he was 5 or 6 years old, he was a zoo listener, honest to God. He would call I don't even know if you remember this one, John. You got a memory like an elephant. And the guy, lucky enough, turned out he makes his living in radio now. He produces iHeart podcasts.
Wow.
His name is Eric Nagel, but the first time he called us, he couldn't say that.
Eric Lugo.
Eric Noogie?
Eric Noogie.
Eric Lugo.
Eric, what are you doing, man?
I'm just hanging out.
Hanging out. How come you're not in school, Eric Noogie?
Because I have to go somewhere, and besides, I'm sick.
Have you ever thought about changing your name from Noogie?
No, it's not Eric Lugo. It's Eric Lugo.
Is that your kid back there crying?
No, she's not crying.
Is that your daughter?
My niece.
That's your niece. Are you married, Eric?
No, not yet.
How old are you, Mr. Noogie?
26.
You are 26 years old, huh? What kind of car do you drive, Mr. Noogie?
Mercury Lincoln.
Mercury Lincoln.
That's gone.
Let me ask you a personal question. What year were you born in there, Mr. Noogie?
19. Wait.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Mr. Noogie?
Yo.
Yo, Eric. Seem to have a bad connection.
Your time is up.
Hello.
Some of the cool things about working here, when we first started, we were located in Secaucus, Although for some reason people believed we were in New York.
Well, you kept saying top of the Empire State Building.
Well, that too. But from the Gorilla Building.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
that.
Well, we did have a tower there, right?
When we first started, we
Yeah.
couldn't get anybody. We couldn't get anybody to come visit as a special guest, Secaucus. And back then, Secaucus was rooted in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it was a
Believe me.
boonies.
Oh, yeah.
It was really something there. John, you knew around. You knew your
Oh,
way
yeah.
around.
Well, I kind of grew up in that area, but Secaucus was just a swampland.
Well, anyway.
So it wasn't anything but
There, back then, cabs didn't go to that part of the tri-state area, so no one would come over there. The record companies ignored us,
Yeah.
because they thought we were like a little New Jersey radio station serving Secaucus and Montclair.
But the good news was I was coming out of the city at rush hour and going back after rush, and nobody was going that way. Because you're
That
going
was
the
your good
opposite of
news,
rush
huh?
hour. Yeah.
And remember, we used to say, because we had to buy our own records.
Yeah.
Well, honest to God, we had to buy our own records. And at that time, when you're a new radio station, you're just getting started, you play the same songs a lot. Play them like every hour and a half to get people to listen. You play all their favorite songs. So people would call up and complain, and I would tell them, well, that's only songs we got here. We got to play them because that's all there is.
We had 22 records, I think, Scott.
That's it. So I said, we're going to send Frankie Blue. He's our assistant music. We're going to send him in. He goes on Thursdays to Tower Records. If there's anything you think he should get, let me know, and I'll give him the shopping list.
Right.
And the other thing, we couldn't get stars to come in. You know the whole story. If you've seen the movie, you know the whole story about our first guest was Tony Orlando. He didn't have a record out. He didn't have any. He was,
How'd you get him again?
Well, we had a kid working there. Remember that guy, Ross?
Yeah.
What was his name?
William Brownstein.
William
Yeah.
Brownstein
Right.
worked there. And he was a nice kid, but he was a little nerdy.
How did he get Tony Orlando?
Because he worked, he's like a intern, and he worked at the Jerry Lewis telethon. And he heard me bitching in my office one day. His wife says, I can't believe we can't get anybody to come here and be our guest on the show. No celebrities would come. And he said, Mr. Shannon? I said, what do you want, William? He said, I have a friend of mine who could be your guest. I said, who's that? He said, Tony Orlando. I said, William, how the hell do you know Tony Orlando? He's a friend of mine. How do you know Tony Orlando? Well, because I work at the Jerry Lewis telethon, and he hosts it for New York. I said, all right, I tell you what, you go ahead and get me Tony Orlando.
But he did.
He did.
And want to move over there and then?
Yeah.
And he did. And Tony came over. First guy to do it. Also, we're waiting for Mr. Leonard to show up. He promised he'd be here today. I gave him all the directions and everything. So far, no Mr. Leonard.
Flashing back to the 80s.
Great Scott!
The Morning Zoo Reunion on CBS FM.
What a day. What an event. Thank you all for showing up today, despite the weather. I mean, it's not raining at least. That's a good deal. And I'm a little disappointed because
Why?
I was very excited that Mr. Leonard told me he was going to be at the reunion.
And you trusted that.
Oh, you should
Yeah,
know better,
please.
Scott.
Mr. Leonard,
Yes. Scott?
where in the hell are you?
Hold on, brush my teeth. I got sick.
Mr. Leonard.
Where am I?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm right here, Scott. I'm preparing for the big reunion show tomorrow. You know me. I'm always prepared. I prepare very diligently, very hard. I got my number one lime green slim fit suit ready, my cherry red shoes, and my yellow saddle stitching on there. And I was going to wear them for Ross's funeral, but you know what? I found
Ross's funeral. He's not even dead yet.
Yeah.
No, that's what I figured out, stupid internet. Anyway, so you bet your bippy I'll be there tomorrow. Mr. Leonard will be on time and ready to go for the
Wait
big
a minute,
reunion
wait a
show.
minute.
What?
Did you say tomorrow?
Who's that?
That was Ross.
He's alive.
Oh, hi, Ross. What are you doing there, Ross? The show's tomorrow. You're preparing too?
No, the show's today.
The show is not tomorrow.
We're on now.
Oh, my God. Well, who switched it? No one tells me anything.
Nobody switched it. Tomorrow is Saturday. We don't work on Saturday.
Well, that's right. We don't work on Saturday. I'm glad they switched it then. When
No one switched it, Mr. Leonard. The reunion show is today.
Oh, my God. Today? Right, you like right now today?
Yes, today.
Yes, we're on the air.
Oh, my God. Scott, you better call him and tell him you're going to be late. You too, Ross. They probably started without you. Claire's probably taking over.
Mr. Leonard, everybody's here.
My God. Well, what happened to the reunion show being tomorrow?
It's Saturday. We're not doing it. What I'm trying to tell you, the reunion show is on right now. There's a full audience here, and we're doing the show.
Hey, don't get mad at me, Scott. I'm not the one that switched it.
Nobody switched it, Mr. Leonard. We don't work tomorrow. It's Saturday. We got people all over the place. They're here listening to the show. They're pissed that there's no Mr. Leonard.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Oh, crap. All right. I'm on my way right now, Scott. I'm just passed over to GW. It's backed up, so, it's going to be a little while.
Mr. Leonard, you're not on your way. You just said you were home.
Okay, dude. All right, so now I'm really going to be a little late, but it's not my fault. Whoever switched it, it's their fault.
No one switched it.
What do you know, Ross? You're probably the guy that switched it.
I didn't switch
We
it.
have a big crowd here, and the show's on the air.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, I better do the joke then. Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, hey, Ross. What do you call an 80-year-old cheerleader?
An 80-year-old cheerleader? I don't know.
Yeah. Old Yeller.
Old Yeller.
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding?
That's a terrible joke, Mr. Leonard. Are you all right?
He thinks it's funny.
Yeah, he's laughing.
Oh, my God. All right, Mr. Leonard, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow? Is it today?
Who switched it?
Who switched it?
Okay. Bye, Mr. Leonard.
Bye, old Yeller.
Bye, Mr. Leonard.
Out of here. Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Same old Mr. Leonard.
Yeah, he hasn't changed.
Same old.
It's the big show. Happy to be here. Good Lord Almighty. That's about it. I'm sorry. It's about a wrap on the big show. Thank you, everyone who showed up today. We appreciate it. Great job. CBS FM. It's the Morning Zoo Reunion on the air everywhere. Featuring the world's worst cinematographer, YouTube Neil. He's here.